The opportunities that you get in the Air Force without a bachelor's degree or without job experience is astronomical. Hey everybody, it's Michaela and I am back with another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be going over the reasons to consider joining the Air Force and kind of just the benefits of the Air Force overall. And I want to preface this by saying in no means am I pushing the Air Force on anyone. The military is not for everybody, but I do get a lot of questions as far as what the Air Force has to offer. And I know for me, I loved going over all of my options. The first reason to consider joining is financial freedom. And this is a huge one. This was probably my main reason. And especially today in the climate that we're facing with the housing crisis and in crazy inflation and all of that, financial freedom is huge. So we get paid pretty decent in the military, especially considering that if you are joining right out of high school like I did, you probably have very little job experience and you more than likely don't have a bachelor's degree. So the fact that you are making as much as we do with no experience or degree is huge. So the starting gross pay for an Airman Basic, which is an E1, that's at the bottom of the ranks, is $1,785 a month before taxes. Also, you need to consider that you're not paying for housing and you won't be paying for your food. The pay increases every year. We get an annual pay raise, and it also increases every year that you're in. So you get an increase on your Air Force birthday, and the pay also increases as you move through the ranks, and you can move through the ranks pretty quickly going from E1 up to even E5. It took me, I just hit my 4-year mark, and I put on E5, which is Staff Sergeant. I put that on in May. So it took me about a little over 3 years to accomplish. But even my jump from E1 to E3 happened really fast. So I signed a 6-year contract, and one of the perks to signing 6 years instead of 4 was that I got to jump to E3, which is an Airman First Class, after finishing tech school. So my tech school was about 6 months long and basic was 2 months. So it took me 8 months to go from an E1 to an E3. And that was a pretty big pay raise considering what you were starting at. So yeah, financial freedom is huge. I'm able to live in a wonderful apartment and have a new car and travel and do all the things that I want to do. So financial freedom is a really big thing if you are looking into joining. Additionally, you can go online and look at the Air Force pay chart just to see what all the different ranks make and how much you make if you've been in X amount of years, etc. So you can find all of that online. Just type in Air Force pay chart. Second reason, and a lot of people join for this too, including me, is education benefits. I got accepted in the University of Central Florida when I was in high school, but after finding out how much it was going to cost, even with financial aid, I did not want to put myself in debt. So another huge driving factor for me to join was the education benefits. So there are 2 avenues that the Air Force will pay for your school. So the first is the Air Force Tuition Assistance Program. And the Air Force Tuition Assistance is what you use while you're wearing the uniform. So while you are on active duty or reserve or guard, that's what you'll be using. And what that is the Air Force will pay up to $4,500 a year for your tuition. So for me, I have 59 credits currently and I'm in 2 classes and I have 0 debt. So it is an amazing thing and an amazing benefit to joining because there are a lot of people drowning in student loan debt. And personally, I just did not want to do that. Another avenue that they pay for school is the post 9/11 GI Bill. So while you're serving, if you don't want to balance working full-time and going to school, completely understandable, you can use your 9/11 bill when you get out. So what that is, the Air Force will pay for your degree in full, or they'll pay for your degree up to a certain amount. You do need to check the specifics online because I know it does vary if you plan on going to flight school or a private university. But for the most part, they pay a lot of money for you to go to school when you get out in whatever you want to study. As well as they do pay for housing while you are in school during that time. There is also ways that you can transfer your post 9/11 bill to your children if you do have kids. I know that you already have to have them. You can't transfer it to like future kids. Example, I thought about doing that just because I don't think I'm going to use my benefits, but we don't have children yet. So the children need to be here, and you do have to give a commitment of more time and by re-enlisting in order to transfer those benefits. So I could have gotten some of those details messed up, but I do know that there is a way for you to transfer your 9/11 bill to your children if you do not plan on using it. So you can look into that online as well. All right, the third reason is health insurance. Health insurance is huge, and military medical gets a really bad rap, and a lot of time there's good reason for that. There are a lot of horror stories of terrible medical experiences in the military. Personally, for me, I really haven't had to experience that, and I like to think that as an Air Force, we are trying to move in the right direction, right? Especially when it comes to medical care. But health insurance is a really big thing. So I'll kind of go over my personal benefits, or how I've personally benefited from this. And it was something I didn't really think about when I joined because, one, I was in high school and I just didn't really think about health insurance as being an important thing. Is something I took for granted. But I do realize now as an adult that a lot of people don't have health insurance. So a really big thing is just when you are active duty in the Air Force, you don't have to go through submitting your claims or dealing with your insurance or paying for literally anything. You call the appointment line and you say, I want to make an appointment. And they're like, okay, for what? And then you make your appointment. It is very, very straightforward. And I'm saying that because there's a lot of things that I've had done in the military, like I've had 4 mouth guards made for my teeth because I grind my teeth. And I know on the civilian side, it is very expensive to have mouth guards made. It was completely free. You never see a bill while you're active duty, unless you use, I believe, like civilian hospitals, or there's some gray area where you might have to pay if you don't use like the military medical. But if you go within the normal avenues of using your doctor and going on base to get your different care and going through your primary care provider to get a referral if needed, because there are obviously things that they can't do at every base, and they will very easily give you a referral so that you can go to the required civilian specialist. And that is obviously free of charge as well. Also, you don't have to pay for prescriptions or anything like that. Another reason, number 4, is jumpstarting your career. The opportunities that you get in the Air Force without a bachelor's degree or without job experience is astronomical. And going on this, I want to say that there are a lot of jobs in the Air Force. And it's not just flying planes or fixing planes. There are just a lot of jobs in general. There are nursing jobs, all different types of medical jobs, metal fabrication, vehicle maintenance, public affairs like myself, admin, finance, and the list goes on and on and on. And you can look that up online as well on the Air Force website. But yeah, jumpstarting your career. The experiences and opportunities that I got at 19 years old with 0 experience in videography is crazy. I've gotten to interview the Secretary of the Air Force. I've gotten to interview very high-level leadership. I've gotten to go out on the flight line all the time and take video of multi-million-dollar jets and interview people and deal with this very expensive camera equipment and create my videos and post them on our social media that we had at Lake and Heath, and it had, a reach of millions of people. And you wouldn't necessarily, it's pretty rare that you would probably get that experience in the civilian side right after graduating high school. So jumpstarting your career is really big. And that goes for any job in the military. You'd be 19 years old working on a multi-million-dollar jet, right? Fixing the engine and doing that if that is something that you're into, or security forces, or like I said, there's a lot of different jobs. Number 5 is travel. So in the Air Force, we get 30 days of leave a year, and these are obviously paid days. So the ability to travel is big, and I think it really goes back also into the financial freedom part of having enough money to pay for your expenses and also have leftover to do fun things that you enjoy in life. And obviously everyone's situation is different. You know, some people only have one income coming in, or they have children. Whatever your situation may be, it is going to vary. But I know for me, joining right after high school, going to tech school, and then getting stationed in England overseas, I got to travel a lot, and we're making good money. So I was able to use that to travel all around Europe. I went to France, I went to Portugal, I went to Spain 6 times, I went all over. And another part of that isn't just getting to travel on your own accord, but the Air Force has bases all over the world. So your opportunities are endless for where you could be stationed and live. Japan is an awesome base. You could be stationed out in South Korea. You could be stationed in Germany, Belgium, Hawaii. There's so many awesome places that your career could take you. And it is going to vary as far as what bases you can go to based on your job. For me, as public affairs, I'm really able to go anywhere. And it also depends on the needs of the Air Force. So how many positions for your job are available at that base. 6th reason, and our last one, is retirement. And honestly, this probably should have been at the top, but retirement is really big. And I know for me, at 18 years old when I joined, it really wasn't something on my radar. It's something that I knew was important, but I didn't know a lot about it. And the new retirement system now, when you join, it automatically starts taking money out of your paycheck and contribute it into your TSP, which is your thrift savings plan, which is an IRA, an individual retirement account. So that is going to gain interest for you. The Air Force also matches up to 5%, and that's free money. So I highly recommend contributing 5% if you can, because the Air Force will match that 5%. So that's really, really huge. So I've been in, like I said, I just hit my 4-year mark, and I have over $13,000 in my retirement account. So it's really, really awesome. And over time, I contribute every single month. It's going to compound and it's going to grow. And it's a really good return rate on the TSP. There are different plans that you can choose from. For me, I'm in the most aggressive retirement bracket because of my age. So my money is mostly all in stocks. And then as I get older, that will automatically disperse to more conservative funds like bonds and things like that. Also, if you do 20 years of service, you do get retirement every month for life, and that is not including your TSP. So you will get a check every month if you hit 20 years of active duty, and then if you do 20 years of reserve, you still get that retirement check, but you're not going to get it immediately. I want to say you have to wait until you're 60, and then you will get the check, and then you will also get TSP. But doing 20 years of active, you do get that check right away when you hit your 20-year mark. So that is another really good incentive and a really good way to just be really secure in your retirement. So I hope this video helped as far as reasons to consider joining. There are a lot of other reasons, as far as being a part of something bigger than yourself, getting to meet a lot of people, just getting the experience in general, being in the military. These are just some of the main reasons that I felt would resonate with a lot of people. And I know for me, were really big driving factors for myself. So I hope this helped. Please feel free to comment below. I really do try and read all of the comments, but sometimes there are just so many. But I really appreciate you guys for supporting me and watching my videos and showing me all the love that you guys do. And I really, really appreciate it. So thank you guys for watching.